A 5,000-year-old underground reptilian city found buried deep under Los Angeles. There is no doubt that the anthropomorphic reptilians were worshipped by ancient civilizations. Reptiles have a long history of being revered in spirituality, and there is ample evidence in the form of sculptures, legends, and folklore to back this up. Serpent gods are extensively debated from Asia to America, and even in ancient Greece. The first king of Athens was half man, half snake. From the waist up, he was a man. From the waist down, he was a snake. So serpent gods are extensively debated from Asia to America, with roughly 4% of Americans believing in this reptilian folklore. In Los Angeles, a long-running urban legend has it that a long-extinct race of highly advanced reptilian people previously constructed a vast underground network beneath the city's core. When the Los Angeles Times released a detailed map of the city's underground maze, it stoked the fire even more. In 1933, a mining engineer named George Warren Shufeldt inspected an underground area in search of deposits of oil, gold, and other valuable materials using a scanner that allowed him to take a reading of the terrain and find formations or sources of some material. And during his search, he was said to have found the whole underground city, which was in the shape of a lizard, and went from Elysian Park, the lizard's head, to where the Central Library is now, at the tip of the tail. Reptilian and Gold Tablets under Los Angeles. The article was published under the pen name of Jean Bosquet, a newspaper investigative journalist. He explained that Shufeldt had mapped the area using cutting-edge equipment and discovered the ruins of an enormous underground metropolis. Quote, "The radio X-ray has revealed the location of one of the three lost cities on the Pacific coast, the locale one having been dug by the lizard people after the Great Catastrophe, which occurred about 5,000 years ago. This legendary catastrophe was in the form of a huge tongue of fire which came out of the southwest, destroying all life in its path, the path being several hundred miles wide. And the city underground was dug as a means of escaping future fires. Large rooms in the domes of the hills above the city of Labyrinth housed 1,000 families in the manner of tall buildings, and imperishable food supplies of the herb variety were stored in the catacombs to provide sustenance for the lizard folk for great lengths of time." This is according to the 1934 article in the Los Angeles Times. Instead of being an alien race of reptiles, the reptilian people, as Shufeldt's tale, were actually humans who revered the lizard as a sign of long life and built their labyrinths in its likeness. When Shufeldt was taking readings near downtown Los Angeles one day, his devices showed him what looked to be a network of tunnels and chambers that ran across most of the city. The locations of the discovery spanned from the public library to Mount Washington and from the southwest to Pasadena. What he found looked like a well-thought-out underground maze, with large rooms at different points and gold deposits in the rooms and hallways. Shufeldt and his team could not see how the formation they had gathered made sense with what they had found. They were supposed to find an old gold deposit. Chief Greenleaf, a Hopi Indian in a medicine lodge in Arizona, was Shufeldt's guide in his attempt to understand his findings. The Native American chief, whose existence is questioned, told him about a lost civilization of smart people on Earth called the lizard people, quote-unquote. Their 9-year-olds were as smart as college graduates, even though they had been gone for a long time. According to what the old and wise native people said, this could be the last proof of an ancient race of people who were a mix of humans and lizards and built this underground city to protect themselves from a disaster. The most unexpected aspect of the case was the assurance that these entities built these tunnels using chemical rather than mechanical instruments. According to local legends, an area spanning hundreds of kilometers across the western shore is said to have been hit by an enormous meteor shower around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. There were thousands of people who lost their lives, their crops were ruined, their homes were demolished, and their forests were burned. Despite the fact that this race had long since vanished, there was still evidence of its existence in the form of the tunnels. The locals explained to the group of explorers that their history was recorded on gold tablets and kept in libraries. Schufeldt's teams found the stores of these boards, which the Indians thought were mines. It was only after this that the explorers had to begin digging into the ground to verify what the technology had shown them. Schufeldt drew up a detailed sketch of the passageways of Fort Moore Hill. Excavation began after authorization was granted, and the team reached depths of 76 meters. When they reached 106 meters in the months of January and February, the project was abruptly halted and abandoned. The wells were closed March 5, 1934, and the contract with the city was cancelled. Los Angeles County did not get the gold or any other treasures. Everything went dark after the excavation was put on hold. With 16 rooms measuring 2.5 square kilometers and containing significant gold, Schufeldt estimated that the maze of tunnels was at least 300 meters deep. Before the Los Angeles Times reporter interviewed the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce members, the subject had been forgotten. According to these officials, there is a potential that this network of tunnels does exist, but it's extremely difficult to conduct an investigation at this time because of the enormous number of buildings, of course, in the area that could be affected. An increased number of articles appeared in the local media reporting progress on the project. Within a short period of time, the media's attention shifted to the search for the buried city beneath Los Angeles. Schufeldt's story of the reptilian civilization, is it myth or reality? Schufeldt died in 1957, and so did the mystery. No one knows for sure if Schufeldt's meticulous map led to the alleged lizard people's hidden riches. There have been many cultures throughout history that revered reptilian and serpent gods. Snakes have a variety of meanings and interpretations in Mesoamerican culture, ancient Egypt, ancient China, ancient India, ancient Greece, Australia, and so on, which may be investigated through the different serpentine gods that are part of the religion. What do you think about this? Could there be gold buried under a labyrinth of Los Angeles? This is by Kustob Kauduri on Infinity Explorers. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.